Half a day, everybody. Jason Salas here, your 671 sports nerd, and we are using the magic of Zoom to go all the way to the mainland today to talk about a local boy who has really been doing things at the next level, and he's got many more things ahead of him. We got Nainoa Norton here, FD grad, graduated in 22, and now playing soccer in college, playing for Olivet Nazarene University in Illinois. Nainoa, it's cold up there, dude. I don't know how can an island boy survive that?
Man, you gotta layer up, wear gloves, and hot packs.
There you go. Well, you got spicy food. I mean, if you eat pica, does that even matter?
I mean, yeah, maybe make you feel a little warmer.
Okay, but you are in your senior year now, playing for your school and everything. Tell me about like the journey and what it's been, like going through like, the Guam program, playing in high school and everything like that. And then really, having to step up and take your game to the next level and now being in your senior year, in the States.
Yeah, so I grew up playing through GFA, the national team, since I was in under 12 all the way up to the senior team now. So that really helped me prep my skills because I knew I always wanted to play college at a young age. So really just preparing the whole time. And, thankfully GFA has good coaches and FD also helped me like take that next step.
Mhm. There's a whole, I mean, I want to use the word cohort, but there's probably like a range of like maybe between like 4 or 5 years where some of you are just graduating from college like yourself, some of them like I interviewed Kai Paul
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago and everything. There's a real strong core of men's that are going to play like in the senior team. We are set up for success for the next like 4 or 5 years. So
Yeah.
where do you guys stand on like sticking together, training and like and keeping sharp?
Yeah, I mean, I think after Morgan McKenna, he
Hmm.
was kind of like, and Kyle Hale were the, first ones for me that I saw, able to, hey, we're from Guam, but we can play college soccer in the US, no problem, right? So I think after that, more and more guys each year have been going to college. So now we have like three Guam boys at Kai Paul's school at St. Martin's,
Yep.
some other Guam boys like in Portland. I know my friend EJ's in Virginia now. So I think for the next few years, like the Mattel will really step up.
Mhm. What do you think it is that makes, young men and women, because the females are doing outstanding work too. The
Sure.
Masakara is fantastic. But what is it about like our island upbringing that lets us work so hard in soccer, like that take to that sport so well?
I think the culture is growing. Like people see everybody being involved at GFA on the weekends, and they want to be a part of that. Um, so yeah, I think that's why the culture is growing.
Okay. Well, before you come home and start to put on like on the Guam colors again, you got a senior year to get through and everything. So you're playing out there for the Tigers. Now as a senior, what do you want to do? How do you want to complete your collegiate career? And what are you doing to make sure that like you're one of you know
Mhm.
not just the veteran voices of your team, but you're also leading by
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, so I've been here for 4 years. This is a really great school. I had no expectations coming here. It's NAIA, so I had never heard of that before. But for all the college guys, like they know that it's a competitive division, and really, I'm just trying to be a leader, like you said, off and on the field. Um, get some good stats as well.
Mm. Now, how and tell me about this next thing I know because this is so critical, right? I tell like athletes all the time when they sign for colleges, and so many of our young boys and girls now are signing their letters of intent to play in college. I was like, you know, you were like the number one kid at your school or your club, and you may have even been like the rock star on the national team and everything like that. There is going to be for different people to different degrees a sense of like transition and having to change your game like when you go to like the
For
next
sure.
level and maybe people might be like a little bit taller or they run a
Yeah.
little faster. What was that like for
100%.
you and how did you have to like modify your own game or did you?
So playing in Guam, I would say is not as physically demanding here in the U.S. Like, especially guys coming from all over the world here. You don't just play Americans, you play guys from Europe, from Asia, from all over the world. So I think adapting to the style of play, like, got to get stronger, you got to get faster, you have to be sharper in your mind too.
Hmm. Now you're going to graduate in the spring with a degree in kinesiology, right? What are your career plans and what do you want to do with that? Because I mean, you there are like 8 or 9 different areas you could go into that. You want to go to med school, you want to work in like sports medicine.
Hmm.
sports agent.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, right now the plan is to continue playing as long as possible. So I'm thinking to maybe take a pause on school, maybe a gap year, or um, do online school, but
Right
definitely
on.
going to continue playing soccer. Yeah.
Okay. What do you have like a 5-year plan or like a vision board and everything like that about, about your training, about your nutrition, like about your
Yeah.
fitness and most importantly, because, we are where we come from and everything, because it's ingrained in all of us as Guamanians, also about giving back.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I think I don't have a set 5 year plan, but I know that um, after this, I have agents that are going to help me take my game to the next level on a professional level as far as nutrition, sleep, training, games, all this. And I think Mattel is also doing a good job at scheduling games for us so that the team can start rebuilding.
Hmm. Do you see coaching in your future, perhaps? Or?
Um, Not at the moment, no, but I wouldn't rule it out.
Okay, that's a perfect example because when I stopped playing volleyball, because like I'm old school and everything, I was like, I could never coach. Like that mentality I have so much respect for, I could never do that. So,
Yeah.
no,
You say that now, but you never know what's going to happen in the
that's
future.
true. That's very, very true. Um, okay, so what has the last 4 years, meant for you? Not just, not just playing and like on the pitch and everything like that, but the
Yeah.
whole process of, maturity and being away from home and, becoming a man and like really like just really going through that.
It's tough. I mean, I'm sure all island people, not just people from Guam, all island kids go through that being homesick. Like we're out in the mainland, it's cold, where there's no water near us, the sun's not always out. So it can be tough, like mentally, with all the stress too. Like we go from playing in Guam where it's competitive, yes, but here it's like your scholarships on the line, your playing time's on the line, and you came out all the way from Guam. You want to make sure you're making the most of it, right? So it can be tough, but really challenging yourself and staying competitive is, that's what helped me get through it.
That's very true. Like a side story, like a friend of mine played volleyball in Division One, and he actually rode the bench for 3 years. In his senior year, he was actually supposed to play, and it just so
Mhm.
happened that a freshman that they brought in, they recruited, he wound up being an All-American that year. So my friend never even touched the court, and he was like, you just got to stay hungry, keep working, like don't
Yep.
get too down on yourself and everything. Just remember
You
what got
know,
you here.
I wasn't always I didn't come here and was a nailed on starter, right? I mean, even this year, like I haven't started every single game.
Mhm.
Every year is a different group of guys, and you're gonna have to change, the way you play, the way you operate within the team, right? So for example, like he was probably a very good volleyball player, but just because there's so many good guys on the team, he doesn't have a chance, right? So continue to keep fighting every day.
Yes, sir. Okay. Um, what about your mental preparation too? Because like we used to say like everybody, okay, just work out in the gym as much as possible, just like train, 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 get your body ready and everything. But sports is so different now than when I played. You've got, possibly you meditate, right? A lot of people do. There's a whole like mental health side. Is that a big thing that your team goes through?
I would say that my school is a very Christian school, so we're very God oriented. Not every single person, but me individually, yes. Like
Mhm.
one of the biggest things I do before a game is pray.
Let's pray. There
Um,
you go.
I think that's the most important thing is that we give the glory to God.
Absolutely.
We can do it ourselves, but He's really the one that's guiding us out there.
Okay, is there a passage from scripture and I know that you use before you like take the pitch? Is it like,
Yeah, I mean, there's really cliche ones. Philippians 3:14 is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
yep.
Right. And so that's just a one off the top of my head I always think about.
I was gonna say you can even make one up, or you could say like Lord, give me the strength to make it through this match and to play fair,
Yeah.
and also please take pity on the guy I'm about to slide tackle.
It doesn't have to be a verse, you just talking to God before goes a long way.
There you go. Well, that's very good. The spiritual side is very, very important too.
It is. It really
Okay,
is.
final question then, because this is fascinating, and you're giving so much knowledge and wisdom, at your you're doing really good, Grandpa. But you no, you've got so much experience now as an athlete, right? That young people are
Yeah.
watching this right now. I was gonna say, talk directly to young kids who are gonna watch this and say, like, hey, I remember him from when he played for FD. How do I get noticed if I want to play like at the next level?
Hmm.
Because everybody said, oh, okay, well, it's really easy to put a highlight reel on YouTube, but one, every other person in the world is doing that, so now you're a needle in a haystack. And then two, is it really just about my strikes, about my goals and everything, or do coaches look for like the little things?
Hmm. To answer your question, yes, the coaches look more so for the little things rather than can you score, can you assist, right? You know, because at the next level, it's the little things that make a difference. But the young kids, I would say, like really focus on your technique every day in training. Like just because you're one of the best in Guam, that's great and everything. But we're a small little island, and when we come out to the big community, it can be like shell shocking for some people. It's like, oh, I didn't know, maybe I'm not that good, but I think it's really important to just stay humble and keep working on your game.
There you
And
go. Well,
as far as getting noticed, like me personally, no coaches, only a few coaches actually went to me. Mostly it was me reaching out, emailing coaches, like 50 coaches a day, emailing them, trying to get at least one reply. And if you keep doing that, you keep at it, some will reply.
mhm. Okay,
Yeah,
bonus question. I know, of course, you are a proud FD grad. What does it mean to you? Like, of course, FD played GW over the like on Friday. Absolutely amazing game and everything. FD,
yeah,
unfortunately, their 85 game winning streak came to an end. What do you say to the Brotherhood about, making sure that, they finish what they start? I mean, the streak was going to end like at some point by
yeah,
some way. But how have you talked to like your classmates and your fellow friars about, like making sure
yeah.
that everybody like stays tight and like, let's continue to do this.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't talked to any of my classmates yet, but we see, we all see the messages and everything. We know it's a tough loss, but like you said, the streak was going to end at some point, and these boys, they gave it their all. They fought hard, and that's just how what happens sometimes. You don't win every game, but I know for sure we're gonna kill them next time.
Interesting. Again, Lord, forgive me for the man I'm about to become, right?
Yeah, yeah,
At least until the end of the fourth quarter. And hey, Nainoa Norton, man, fantastic things are in store for you in the future. And thank you for giving me like a few moments of your time. I know as a college senior, there's not a lot of free time, but man, we're really, really proud of you, man, and keep doing it out there.
yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, man.